Have you ever heard someone say, "You should just get a Ladybird deed"? It's one of the most common pieces of estate planning advice I hear. And honestly, most people have absolutely no idea what a Ladybird deed actually does. In fact, last month we had a homeowner call our office after her husband passed away. Thought everything had been planned perfectly. They had a will, they had talked about estate planning. They thought the house would automatically become hers. Instead, she found out the property was going to have to go through probate court before it could be sold by her. The first thing she asked me was, "Someone told us we should have gotten a Ladybird deed. Would that have prevented this?" And unfortunately, by then it was too late, but it probably would have. Hi, I'm Caitlin with Legacy Title Agency, and after handling thousands of real estate closings throughout Michigan, I can tell you that one simple estate planning document can sometimes save families months of delays, thousands of dollars in legal fees, and a tremendous amount of stress. That document is called a Ladybird deed. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what a Ladybird deed actually is, how it works, why so many Michigan homeowners use them, when it might make sense, and one major misconception that causes people to accidentally undo all the benefits they're trying to create. So let's get started with the obvious question. What in the world is a Ladybird deed? Well, first, the name is a little strange. Despite what many people think, it has nothing to do with birds. A Ladybird deed is simply a nickname for what's legally called an enhanced life estate deed. And while the name sounds complicated, the concept is actually pretty simple. Imagine you own your home. You still want complete control over it while you're alive. You want to be able to live there, refinance it, sell it, mortgage it, or even change your mind about who inherits it once you pass away. But when you do eventually pass away, you want the property to automatically transfer to someone you choose or your trust without having to go through probate. That's exactly what a Ladybird deed is designed to accomplish. Think of it like naming a beneficiary on a life insurance policy. You keep complete ownership while you're alive. The person you've named has no personal ownership rights. They can't sell your home. They can't force you to move. They can't borrow against it. They can't tell you what to do. They simply have the right to receive the property automatically when you pass away. And that's one of the largest reasons these deeds are so popular in Michigan. Now let's compare that to what happens without one. If someone owns property in their individual name and passes away, there may need to be a probate proceeding before anyone has legal authority to sell or transfer that property. Probate isn't always bad, but it does take time, paperwork, court filings, and often attorney's fees. Many families simply want to avoid that process if they can. That's where a Ladybird deed may become an attractive option. Now, here's the part most people don't realize. With many other types of deeds, once you give someone an ownership interest, you may need their permission if you later want to sell or refinance the property. Even a traditional life estate deed works that way. But not with a Ladybird deed, because you retain what's called an enhanced life estate. That means you generally keep full control during your lifetime. If you decide to sell the home, you can. If you decide to refinance, you can. If you decide to revoke the deed entirely, you generally can do that too. The future beneficiary doesn't have to approve your decision because they don't own the property while you're alive. That's a huge advantage. Now, here's the mistake we see people make all the time. They hear about Ladybird deeds online, download a form, fill it out themselves, and assume they're done. Unfortunately, estate planning is rarely that simple. A deed that isn't prepared correctly, executed correctly, or recorded correctly, or worded correctly may not accomplish what you intended. And sometimes it creates even bigger title problems years later when the family tries to sell the property. That's why it's so important to work with an experienced estate planning attorney or a real estate attorney when making decisions about transferring your real estate. Now, here's another important point. A Ladybird deed doesn't replace a complete estate plan. It may be one piece of the puzzle, but you still may need a will, a trust, powers of attorney, patient advocate documents, or other planning tools depending on your circumstances. Estate planning isn't one size fits all, and it's all about choosing the right tools for your family goals. Now, here's my biggest pro tip. If your long-term goal is to make life easier for your family, don't wait until there's a health crisis. The best time to discuss estate planning is while you are healthy, while you have options and you can make thoughtful decisions, not when your family is trying to solve problems during an emergency. Because once someone loses capacity or passes away, many of your planning options become much more limited, and you can't even do them anymore. A Ladybird deed allows you to keep complete control of your property during your lifetime, names who will automatically receive the property after your death, can often help avoid probate for that property, and may simplify the transfer of real estate to your loved ones. For many Michigan homeowners, a Ladybird deed isn't perfect for every scenario, so be sure to talk to your attorney. But it can be an incredibly valuable estate planning tool. But it's important to make sure it's drafted and recorded properly as part of an overall estate plan. If this video helped you better understand one of Michigan's most powerful estate planning tools, make sure to subscribe to Legacy Title Agency. Every week we publish practical videos that help Michigan homeowners, buyers, sellers, realtors, attorneys, trustees, and investors understand title insurance, deeds, probate, powers of attorney, and everything that happens before, during, and after a real estate closing. If you're buying, selling, planning your estate, or simply want to understand your options, visit legacyclosings.com for free educational resources designed specifically for Michigan property owners. At Legacy Title Agency, we believe informed homeowners make better decisions. That's why our mission is to educate, protect, and help Michigan families avoid costly real estate mistakes before they happen. I'm Caitlin with Legacy Title Agency, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll help you protect your home.